how do pros make guitar look so easy?
That's a great question, and I think that's something that as guitar players we all wonder about at some point, right? How the heck do they make it look so easy? I'm sitting here struggling to play a chord, or struggling to change chords, or play a few notes, so hard. How the heck do they make it look so easy? Well, okay, so we need to set the record straight about a few myths that have just been around as long as I can ever remember, as long as I've been alive for sure. So, one big one is natural talent. We'll talk about these individually, but natural talent, something about your fingers, something about being smart. I think of some other ones I'll tell you, but natural talent. Look, I'm not making this up. You can go out there and look at the research yourself. There's scientific research. In fact, there's a book called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. Go read that book. These aren't my words. This is scientific research. Okay, there is no such thing as natural talent. It just that is a label that people who don't know how something works puts on people who are extremely, uh, you know, gifted or extremely good at something where they didn't see the work that went into it, or they didn't see how a person got from point A to point B. Point B being where they are and why they're so good at something. But again, not my words. Go read the books. Go look up the scientific research. Okay, that's not even really the most important part. The most important part is that uh, this universe, for whatever reason, works on physics, and that means the law of cause and effect. So if I pick up my guitar and I play the same old stuff every day, am I going to get any better at it? No, I'm just going to get frustrated and play the same old stuff. If you try to play new stuff but you don't know exactly what to do, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to put the guitar down. You're not going to get any better, right? But if you pick up your guitar, you know exactly what to do, and you do it, and you do it in the right way until you get better at it. It's impossible not to get better. You are going to get better. That's just physics. It's how it works. It's cause and effect. Okay, so we need to put to rest the idea that if anybody, any single person can't get better on the guitar or can't actually become a good guitar player. That's just a myth. It's not true. Okay. The other thing is about your fingers. All right. First of all, I broke my pinky finger. You see how it's kind of crooked a little bit. I broke this finger in baseball in high school, and it causes me pain every single day. I used to think that I was never going to be able to use my pinky playing the guitar, and then I later found out that that was all just an excuse. Doesn't really matter at all. Just like athletes work out in the gym, pro guitar players train their fingers, and they work out their fingers basically to be able to do things like this. If I take the guitar and put it on my left hand, I mean, like, I don't even know how to do that with my left hand, excuse me, this is my right hand, but I can't move my fingers like I can with the other hand, like this. I developed the ability to do that. I wasn't born with it. In fact, no baby on the planet was born being able to play guitar ever in history. So every single guitar player in history had to learn somehow, right? They had to learn, make their fingers do the right thing on the fretboard. And if they can do it, and if the universe is governed by the law of cause and effect, then that means you can do it too. It's just that simple. You can argue with me all day long, but physics is physics. You can't argue with physics. That's how it works. Now, as far as fingers go, if you want some inspiration, go look up a guy named Django Reinhardt. Django with a D at the front. He was an excellent jazz player, and he had two fingers. Okay, if you have four fingers, you have an advantage. But let me give you an even better one. There's a guy named Mark Goffany who he died recently, but he had no arms, zero arms, and he played guitar and he sounded amazing with his feet. He learned to play guitar with his toes. Okay, if he can play the guitar with his toes and you have fingers, you don't have anything to complain about. You can do it. All right. You can do it. Now, about how, like, literally, how do the pros make it look so easy? The first part of it is the physical part that I just told you about. Just like athletes train in the gym to play better on the court or better on the field, pro guitar players train their fingers to be able to move around the fretboard. It's just that simple. And there are very simple exercises that we talk about all the time. In fact, we made a course called Unlimited Dexterity, specifically to give you unlimited dexterity. It's a series of 10 step by step exercises that build on each other. That by the end, you'll be able to play almost anything on the guitar and it will feel effortless. It will feel like your fingers are just floating across the strings, just like you see the pros doing. So that's key number one to why the pros make it look so easy is because they made their fingers easy to move on the fretboard, and anybody can do that. Okay. The second reason, in general, is actually I should have said this first, but the main reason is because it is easy. It looks easy because it is easy. You can't take anything hard and make it look easy. If it looks easy, it's because it has to be easy. It goes back to the simple physics thing that we talked about. It's just simple physics. It's simple cause and effect. Now, the components of making it look easy, the first part is, again, working out your fingers, training your fingers to be able to move on the guitar neck. If you can tie your shoes, if you can walk down the street, then you can also train your fingers to be able to move easier on the guitar neck. Okay. Now, here's the part that most people never discover, and that's the mental part. So, no, you don't have to be smart to play guitar. I mean, I'm sorry, but just look at the droves and droves of, professional musicians who are drug addicts or been drinking their whole life and they can't even form a sentence. You don't have to be that smart to sound good playing guitar. There's just something that most people never see on the guitar, and that's what we talk about as what we call the guitar grid. And I'll put a few things together. So there is the guitar grid, there's the 7 feelings, and then there's the freedom key pattern. Okay, I'll explain each of those briefly, but they all fit together, and this is the reason the pros can make it look so easy. So the first of all, the guitar grid on the guitar neck, while most amateur guitar players are looking at the fretboard and they're thinking about what fret they're on, they're thinking about what note they're playing, or they're looking at the dots on their guitar neck, the pros aren't thinking about any of that stuff, right? They are thinking about, or they are actually they're not thinking, but they're playing on a grid of all of the right notes. It's a literal roadmap. It's invisible. You can't see it on your guitar neck. You have to see it in your mind and overlay it onto the guitar neck. The guitar grid is an invisible roadmap that shows you where all of the right notes are across the entire guitar neck for any key. Now, how do you play in any key? Well, you simply shift this grid up or down the neck. It's literally that simple. There's no more to it. Now, of course, there's a method, there's a process to be able to know where are the right notes, how do I play the right notes on this grid. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you'll never want to play a different way again because that's how the pros make it look so easy, right? So here's the thing. First of all, we've established that there's a grid. Okay. So there's a grid on your neck that contains all the right notes. You have to see it in your mind. You can't see it on your guitar neck. On this grid contains all the right notes, but in any key, there are only 7 right notes. There's only 7 of them. And these 7 notes repeat everywhere on the guitar neck. Or more specifically, these 7 notes repeat everywhere on the guitar grid, the invisible roadmap. Okay. The cool part is you don't need to know the names of the notes. It does knowing the names of the notes helps if you want to jump somewhere or locate something really fast. Like I need to go to an E note, boom. I need to go to a G note, boom. But outside of that, when you're just playing and expressing yourself or improvising or whatever, you don't need to think about any of that stuff. So on the guitar grid, like I said, there are 7 notes. There's 7 notes in any key, and we don't need to know the names. We just need to know the numbers. So there's 7 of them. Each one of the 7 notes, or the numbers, I should say, has a different feeling associated with it. And since it repeats all across the fretboard, whenever you play the same number, like note number 1, it always feels like note number 1, no matter where you play it on the guitar neck. The only difference across the guitar neck is that the pitch is higher or lower, and that's it. So let me give you an example. So let's say I'm going to play 7 notes, starting here, like that. I can play this same feeling of notes anywhere. And it sound the same here. Notice how that last 7th note gives you that weird, not quite settled feeling. Listen. You're waiting for what comes next. Now, because I know the feelings of these 7 notes, if I play the next note, I know what's going to happen to you emotionally. You're going to feel like the end of a movie, or like it's settled, or like it's final. Now everything's good. Check this out. There's that tension note. And if I play the next note, it's going to make everything okay. It's complete. It's the end of the song. It feels the same. Now let me move this somewhere else. Same. I'm just going to play same 7 feelings again. You have that same feeling again, that same tension. And if I play the next note, it makes everything okay. Everything's final. Everything's over. I can even do that over here if I want on a different string. So check this out. Yay, now everything's happy now, right? So my point is, all of the notes that I just played, the letter notes like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it doesn't matter what any of those were. The only thing that mattered is I know where the right notes are on the grid, that there's 7 of them, that they repeat across the neck, and that every number feels the same everywhere across the neck, everywhere you play it. That's all you need to know. So the question is, how do pros make it look so easy? Well, there's two parts. Just as a recap, there's the physical part, which is training your fingers to move on the guitar neck, which any person can do. Anybody with fingers can do this. Okay. There are also guitar players that play with their feet, so you can do it with your feet as well if you want to do that. The first part is mental, of how the pros make it look so easy. Excuse me, is physical, of how the pros make it look so easy. It's training your fingers on the guitar neck. The second part is mental. It's seeing the guitar grid, which is the invisible roadmap of all the right notes across the fretboard. Knowing where those notes are, how to play them with your fingers, and that the fact that there are 7 different notes that repeat across the guitar neck, or 7 different numbers, and each one of those 7 numbers has its own unique feeling, and that same feeling every single time you play the same number feels the same no matter where you play it on the guitar neck. So when you see the pros playing and they're playing all across the neck and they hit that one note that you just absolutely love, or they know what they're doing, they're not even looking, and they're just playing that one note that's just it's just the feeling that they want to hear. And they know, I need to hit that number 7 note right now. I need to hit that number 3 note right now. I need to hit that number 6 because that always feels really good. It always feels the same. That's all they're doing. They're playing the feeling they want to hear, and that's how they make it look so easy.
Good stuff. Listen, guys, if you're getting some value out of this, if you're like, man, Jonathan is the dropping bombs, let us know in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe or follow. So if you guys want to get into some more breakthrough guitar information, definitely click the link in the description, or go to breakthroughguitar.com and check out some of our courses, like Guitar Grid Mastery, and learn the Freedom Keys system and all of that, guys. There's so much good stuff there, and I can't emphasize it enough. Any final words?
I think just like you, Brock, when we talk about this kind of stuff, we're kind of both a little bit speechless because we know it works. And and Mike just said, love the way you explain things. It does sound simple. Mike, I'm talking directly to you. It is simple. And that's it. Like, I know there's so many different books and courses and methods and apps and all this stuff, and I know it seems like we need to go out there and learn all the stuff in order for it to all make sense. But the truth is, most of it is just noise, and you really just need to know a few simple concepts like the guitar grid, like the 7 feelings, etc. Like we talk about, that literally, it sounds hypey, but it's true. It's literal. It literally unlocks the guitar neck for the rest of your life. You literally know how it works. You know how it all works. You know how to hit all the right notes. You know how to sound good. And the best part is you don't have to think about it. And that's how the pros make it look so easy. And that's why Brock and I are on here. And that's why we're so adamant about trying to convey to you that, look, this works. Please use it. Please do it. That's why we're here sharing this with you guys. So anyway, hope you try it. Hope it works for you. Let us know. Definitely want to help you.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, guys. Love you all. Make sure you
Sure.
follow us, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Peace. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. That was just a short clip of one of our longer Q&A videos. If you're interested in watching some more of those videos, then I recommend you hit the subscribe button over here. It's really awesome. Also, we got more videos over here, so check some out if you're interested in learning more about breakthrough guitar or advancing your guitar skills. Peace.